Okay, so welcome to the second part of our JavaScript series. So in that video we are going to revise all the things or strengthen those things through this article of GFG. In previous video we have learned about how you can attach the JavaScript with your HTML code. So in that video we'll be learning about the theoretical part also and also some practical things. So for now let's read it. How to add JavaScript in HTML document. So now, to add JavaScript in your HTML document, several methods can be used as I have told in the previous video. These methods include embedding JavaScript directly within the HTML file or linking an external JavaScript file. I have shown you both things. So in case of directly linking the JavaScript files, what you can do, you can write JavaScript code directly inside the HTML element using these are some terms of JavaScript which is like on click, on mouse over. These are some events or actions or other event handler attribute. You need not to focus on these terms for now. Let's go to these things. Internal JavaScript. Internal JavaScript means within script tag. So you need to remember that whenever we are writing JavaScript within a script tag, as I have discussed in the previous video, if I want to show you that code, you can see if I go to the index.html, in that part of the code, you can see this is the internal JavaScript. Okay, this was actually the internal JavaScript. Now internal JavaScript can also be written inside that head tag. We have written inside the body tag, but it can also be written inside the head tag for specific purposes. This is not the thing that we are writing JavaScript inside the head tag. Here we are linking the external JavaScript. We are not writing the code, but I mean that we can write that part of code inside that head tag also. Okay, so now let's go to that article. Placing JavaScript within the head section of an HTML document ensures that the script is loaded and executed as the page loads. This is useful for scripts that need to be initialized before the page content is rendered. What does it mean? Let's say you are opening a page. Let me open something. Okay, so like if I want to search, let's simply search google.com and enter. Now this page is loading and it's loaded successfully. So whenever we are writing JavaScript inside the head tag, then during that loading of the page, JavaScript will be loaded alongside with that HTML. Okay, now what will happen if we are writing the JavaScript code inside body part? So JavaScript code can also be placed inside the body section of the HTML page. Typically, scripts page placed at the end of the body load after the content. Okay, which can useful if your script depends on the DOM being fully loaded. Let's say as an example we want a click functionality. Okay, so if we want a click functionality to be called or to be happen, so for that we need to at first load that button on which we want to click and perform a action. So for that at first we need to load that HTML, then we can load or we have a use of JavaScript. Okay, so for that we use or write the JavaScript inside body tag at the end. That is the thing. As an example, here a code is given. This is a body tag like our code. Here is a h2, inside it something is written, h3, inside it something is written. This is a button. Okay, by like it represents on click represent whenever we are clicking on that button, this function should be called. I hope you have a knowledge or basic knowledge in C language. So like whenever we are clicking on that button, this my function should be called. Okay. Now at the end, you can see this is the closing tag of the body. So just before that we have opened a script tag, and inside it we have written this function my function, which we are calling whenever we are clicking on the button. Okay. So on the call of on click event, my function action should be performed. So what my function is defining, that document.getElement by id, this is about the DOM part. We'll be definitely learning about it in detail in our next another videos. For now, what it is doing, it is showing that whenever like clicking on that button, there should be like content changed, this type of thing should be there inside that inner HTML. Okay, so let's execute that thing, or let's see what will happen. Let's run it. Let's click on here. On click, you can see this is changed. Okay, why this is changed? We are targeting that demo class named element. Where is this? This part. Okay, this id named element, and changing the content inside it whenever we are clicking on that button, and we are changing the contents inside it with that one. So this is performing that action. Okay, so the main point is that whenever we are adding JavaScript inside head tag, so JavaScript and HTML will be loaded together and properly. And whenever we are adding JavaScript before body closing tag or inside the body part, then JavaScript will be loaded after the after our HTML loaded. Okay, so after the loading of the DOM. So that is the thing. Now, what is external JavaScript? For larger projects or when reusing scripts across multiple HTML files. Let's say in different HTML file we need a button on clicking on which we should see a message or pop-up thing that you are okay or you are going good. Okay. So in that situation, what we can do, we can like make a file, external file, script.js or anything.js, and then write that function, okay, which we have written here, that function my function, which we are calling inside that okay. So we can simply write that function inside that script file and link it in the top or head part of our HTML, as I have linked here, this thing. Okay, so that is the thing. Now why we are doing, because it will reduce the rewriting of code. We need not to write same function for different pages. Okay, so that is the thing. That's why we use or prefer to use external JavaScript. External JavaScript means external JavaScript file. Okay, so that is the thing. Here you can see they are linking it inside script, and output will be same. Okay, now advantage of external JavaScript, this is the important point. This is like faster page load time, because the page need not to load JavaScript with HTML. Okay, the script is a separate file. What it is telling, that cached external JavaScript files don't need to be reloaded every time the page is visited, which can speed up loading time. Another point is improved readability and maintenance. Obviously, if we are writing all the JavaScript inside HTML file as well as the HTML part, then the code will become very unclear. Okay, which is not a good practice. So if any part can be kept separate, then it is better, and in that case JavaScript is that part. Okay, so we can keep it outside of our HTML file and link just using a line. Okay, so that is the thing. Next, separation of concerns. By separating HTML means the structure and JavaScript means the behavior, your code becomes cleaner and more modular. So just simple point that HTML definitely like make the structure of the website, CSS makes the design, and JavaScript decides the behavior of the page, how it should react if we are performing any action. So that defines by JavaScript codes. So that is the thing. If we keep that things separate, then obviously the code will be more readable and clean, and it will be best practiced code. Okay, so your code becomes cleaner and more modular. We are making it module wise. Okay, now the last point, which is code reusability, means definitely, as I have mentioned, if we are writing some function to perform anything inside a HTML page, then if we are making or want that thing in another HTML page, then we have to rewrite it inside a HTML page. But in other hand, if we are making a separate file and simply linking it to perform that thing, or linking that function with my code, then we can definitely relink that script file with another HTML file where we want that function to be executed. Okay, so what I am telling, or what I want to show, what I want to tell you with that thing, that if we are making a index2.html, let's say, and here is a same code, okay, or any other type of code, but here also I want a button click. Okay, let's say button. So in that case, on click, on click, I want to call a function, let's say my function. Okay, my function, and I want to call it. Okay, so simply this is a, there is, in that page there is a simple button, and also in that index.html page there is also a simple button. So if we write that my function inside that script tag, then in another page also I have to add that script tag and write that function inside it. On other hand, if I am simply like linking that script, instead of this, just we are removing it and linking that script file and writing the whole part inside that script tag, I mean that part inside that script, then we can also simply link that file, scripting file or JavaScript file inside that file also. So we need not to rewrite the code. So that is the point, main point. Okay, so there is also other things like asynchronous and deferred JavaScript, but we will be learning about these things later, after the completion of the basic things. Okay, so in the next video we'll be talking about the next point, different type of JavaScript syntax and other basic things. So thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe the channel and don't forget to share with your friends. Thank you.